explain to people what
Yeah,
match
so
betting is?
so what match betting is, right? I'm sure everyone has seen, I don't know, sports bet offering a free bet or a second and third promotion, specials, offers. All of these things are in theory designed to con punters, essentially, to suck them into betting the way that the bookies want them to bet. However, if you're smart enough, you can use very simple methods with mathematics, hedging, using multiple bookmakers. I know it sounds super complex, but these things are designed to take your money, but if you're smart enough, you can actually use them to your advantage. So let's just take a bonus bet, for example. Now, I probably need a marker. There we go. Got a marker here. Let's just start off with, I don't know, a $100 bonus, right? Now, most bookmakers, when you sign up with them, they're going to give you a $100 bonus. You have a marker. The tissue's nice. They're going to give you a $100 bonus. Just bear with me while I rub this out. Now, if you're smart enough, you can turn that $100 into 65 bucks. So I'm going to show you here right now. So let's just say Sportsbet give us $100, okay? They've said, hey, Tom, here's $100. If you bet with Sportsbet, you can take it. You can put $100 into the account, we'll give you $100 free. So let's just put the $100 into the account. That's our own money. Let's just leave that there for the time being. But let's just focus on the $100 free bet. So we've got a $100 free bet right here. Call it a bonus bet, bonus, whatever you want to call it. There's your $100 bonus. Now, to most punters, what are they going to do with that? If anyone wants to answer in the comments, what do you think most people, if I gave you a $100 bonus, what are you going to do with it? You're probably going to do, hey, let's do a same game multi. Let's try and back a roughie, paying $50 and try and turn it into 5K or 4,900. Most people are not going to turn it into profit unless they know what match betting is, okay?
Chase said that most people are going to gamble it.
Okay, of course. And that's what the bookies want you to do. They want you to gamble the bonus. They want you to throw it down the sink. They want you to have a crack at winning 10K because they know that if you bet that way, the next time you bet again and they give you another one, you're going to do the same thing. And even though they're giving you this for free, they're also giving you this to make you put in this here, which is your money. You lose this, which is not their money or not your money, but then you have to then sort of use that and you get sucked into this addiction cycle. So with this $100 bonus, we're actually going to turn it into 65 bucks. Now, how we're going to do that, there's obviously some rules and stuff that you need to look for, but I'm just going to show you exactly. So let's take an AFL match. Everybody knows AFL, okay? You look at Collingwood, you look at Carlton. Let's just put two sort of uneven matches. So let's just go like Collingwood versus Gold Coast. Now, Collingwood, obviously, going off the last year's whatever, they're going to probably be favourites. They're going to be lower odds compared to Gold Coast. If you don't understand odds, the lower the odds, the more chance, in theory, that the analysis has said that team's going to win. The higher the odds means less chance of winning. So let's just pick two teams. Collingwood versus Gold Coast. Gold Coast is paying $5. And they're paying $5 on Sportsbet. That's the odds they're offering, $5. Okay? Tab is offering $1.20 for Collingwood. And it's really crucial that you understand that you need to place these two bets on two different companies. You cannot do this on the same company because the bookie's going to be like, hey, you're taking advantage of this. So, all right, your $100 bonus goes onto Gold Coast on Sportsbet. Now, one thing you need to know, so let's just go, sorry if you can't, you can see me, 100 times 5 with real cash. If you bet this real cash, it would be $500 return. However, we're using a bonus. Most bookies, 99% of bookies, are going to take this bonus back if this ends up winning. So this becomes minus 100, which equals 400, okay? If Gold Coast win, you're going to get $400. Now, most people will be like, well, hang on, if Gold Coast lose, you've lost your bonus. 100%, we're not going to stop there. We're going to guarantee ourselves this return. How are we going to do that? We've got calculators on our website which will do this for you, but if you want to learn the mathematics, you would do 400 divided by the odds of Collingwood, which is $1.20. And you're going to do that on tab. What's that? Is it 333, Tom?
That's for, $10 at 5.40 return, yeah.
So $333.33?
33 bucks, yeah, at $1.20 is like $39, so 33 cents is, 40.
Yeah, so that's, cool. So this is what we need to put on Collingwood on tab. And if we were to do that, and I'll explain why we don't bet this amount in a second, but let's just say we do, $333.33 times $1.20 equals 400. So if you go back to the start, no matter what happens in this outcome, you're going to get back 400. Some people might say, what happens if it's a draw? I can explain that at the end, but let's just pretend it's not a draw for a second. Let's just say Collingwood wins, right? We're going to have $400 back in our tab account. This was placed on tab. This was placed on Sportsbet. Whatever, spelled that wrong, who cares? $400 in our Sportsbet account now, okay? We've still got our $100 that we put in. I'll talk about that in a second. But we've only invested this. This is our money that's being put into this. This was not ours. This was the free bet. So after all of that, we've made, if anyone is watching in the comments, how much have we made? Is there any answers? Bit quick, but let's wait.
Both streams are a little bit delayed.
Yeah, okay.
While I'm watching.
Has there been any questions at all about anything?
There's been a few questions.
Nice.
Some are stupid, but there's been a lot of messages about that they've been successful through match betting. They've joined our community.
Nice.
People should join. There's been quite a few. I think someone just said $7, $67. Sorry, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean it's technically 66.66, but yeah, $67. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So you've now made $67, and you haven't risked a single cent.
There's a few correct answers.
Awesome. Paying attention. Are these people like randoms or are they subs? Okay, the subs get it. They're ready party. So I've turned $100 bonus that Sportsbet gifted me that they wanted me to donate into $67 down here, which I'll write. $66.66, right? That is the profit you've made. You don't care who wins. If Gold Coast had won, we would have 400 in our Sportsbet account, plus the 100 here. Let's forget about that for a second. We would have lost $333 on our tab, but we would have had 400 in our Sportsbet, which means we also would have made $66.66. Now, we obviously wouldn't bet 333.33 because this is what rookie match bettors do. If you bet something like this, decimals, random numbers, it's pretty obvious that you're like taking advantage of the bookies. Now, match betting, this principle here is the most basic principle. Once you understand this, you then wonder, well, how do I get 10,000 of these? Like that's literally what everyone says. How do I get 10,000 bonuses to make $6,500 or whatever it is? And that's what the more advanced stuff is done. There's 80 bookies in Australia where you can sign up and you can get over 3,000 worth of sign-up offers. That alone is over 2K worth of profit without doing anything else. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that because if you just do this and you open up an account and just do this and rinse and repeat, you'll have your accounts banned. They'll turn off your promos. You then can't make money. And there's way more money to be made in the additional methods like the horse promotions that the system uses, our horse investment service, as well as other methods that can be done, which are way more valuable than just these sign-up offers. Having said that, any bonus that you ever get as someone who is betting or has never bet before, anytime you see a bonus bet, you should be looking to make easy money from it. Now, for people out there, there's other methods to turn a bonus over that are much higher, e.g. our Platinum Squad members are turning over their bonuses at an average of 80%. So for this example, they would make $80. Now, how they're going to do that is explained in more advanced stuff on horse racing. But essentially, no matter who you are, you should be turning any bonus you get into at least 65% of its value. And that's something that is going to not only make you a lot of money over the long term, but it's also going to change the way you think about betting. And also the bookie now doesn't want you, or they want you to do that sort of big payout versus you just taking guaranteed profit. Not many people do this. And that's why these things exist. So I don't know if anyone is confused by that, if anyone has any questions about seeing that.
Do the bookies know about this?
Yeah, of course they do. The bookies definitely know about this. This has been in, I guess, existence since, I would say, 2000 and maybe late 2000 and 2008, 2009 in sort of UK. And then it kind of moved to Australia. Probably, I don't know, 2010, 11, 12, like that kind of year. Don't quote me on the exact time. But bookies know what is possible with this stuff. But unfortunately, for people out there, they look at this, and a lot of people, even in the comments watching this, I don't know how many people are watching, but they might look at this and being like, oh, well, what? I could have turned that $100 bonus into like $1,000. And what the fuck, excuse my French, what the hell is $66 going to do? I mean, that's not going to do anything. But if you do this 1,000 times over 2 years, you work out what you make, because that's what people in the community are doing. Not just on this exact example, but the same principle. Small things add up over time. And the bookies know that this can exist, but they know at the same time that 99% of people ain't doing this. They're throwing it on the next race. They're trying to turn it into a same game multi jackpot. And essentially you're doing exactly what they want you to do. So if you've learned something from this, great. I don't know if we want to keep talking about bonus bets or not, but
how much money can you make doing this? How much money can you make matched betting?
Good. It's a very, very, very open question. In how long?
Well, what about in the next 12 months?
In 12 months.
If you've never done it before and you only have a sports bet account.
Okay, if you just, as in you're going to open more?
Yeah.
Okay, if you just have one bookie, two bookies, in Australia, you shouldn't be aiming to make less than 10,000. 10,000 is a minimum.
Do you pay tax on that?
No tax, unfortunately, for the
ATO. And for people that are wondering where to start, there has been a question, how do I start?
Okay.
Where do people start?
The free course is what we have currently, a 90-minute collection of videos which will literally explain basic A to Z on how this all works. This is very basic stuff. Like, if you can understand this, great, but it's definitely not, you're not going to go and make 10K just doing this. You could, but unlikely you're going to get the same results as someone who does things a little bit more advanced. So free course linked in the bio of our Instagram account, also linked in the bio of AFL TikToks, I'm pretty sure. If you just click free matched betting course or make 10K or something, I don't know what the prompt is. If you don't know where to go, DM us, we'll send you the link. It's literally very obvious if you want to find it. From there, watch those. We then have a Discord, 2,200 people in there. We have free calls. We have hundreds of hours of YouTube content. We've got member interviews, podcasts, vlogs. Like, if you want to learn, there's content everywhere. It's just a matter of having the patience. But yeah, $10,000 would be the absolute minimum in a 12-month period. But having said that, we have people in our community who are making 150K in a 12-month period. Now, how that's possible? Well, they're doing things way more advanced. They're multiplying what they're doing. I don't want anyone to come in here and try and make 150,000 in their first 12 months, because that's just selling you a fake dream. Like, that's bullshit. But $10,000, someone messaged us the other day who wasn't a member. He's like, you guys are literally selling yourself short by saying 10,000 because it's way easier to make way more. But we do the 10,000 because we know that the absolute novice, basic person who's never done anything, not even knows a single thing about betting, if they started today and invested 5 hours a week for the next 12 months, they would easily make 10K. So that's why we say 10K, but there's obviously people making 50, 100, 150. Go watch our podcast, you'll see it for yourself and you can hear those people.
There's a comment in here from long-time subscriber, old mate Mickey Kearns, who said, if you're on here, then you've made the first step towards changing your life. What do you reckon he means by that? Okay, so I know who that is, and one of my favourite, he's not actually a member, his relative is. However, old mate was a losing gambler who was, I don't know how much he's losing, it's none of my business, but he was losing a little bit. And his relative, let's just say his partner, has joined our community, and I reckon now would be in towards the 2-year mark. What's happened is that person who's his partner has made over, I'm not going to quote exactly, but I reckon about 40K, has bought a brand new car. But the most important thing that's life-changing is old mate here has now stopped gambling because he's seen the difference in change of mindset from what doing this does. This is great, making money, right? But a lot of where our point of difference is in this industry is the fact that we focus so heavily on your brain, your mindset. If you can't control your head in terms of the way you think, like here right now, right? If I told you at the start of this live, what would you do with 100 bonus, and you would have gambled it, but now you've seen this and you would turn it into $65 risk-free, you've now changed your mindset around how you view bonus bets. And that's the first step in realizing, like, well, fuck, like, bookies are trying to con me, why don't I just do the opposite? So it compounds into all different things. Like, we've had hundreds of people, if not thousands, watching our content who have stopped gambling completely because they just think, well, far out, why the fuck, excuse my French, would I gamble if I can do this? And that's what he means by it's life-changing. Now, it's not the same for everyone. A lot of people don't come from a gambling background, so they don't have to worry about stopping losing. But as soon as they see this, they think, well, how far out, why didn't I discover this 3 years ago? And literally, that's how it is. We can't believe,
like we've had a massive influx over the last 2 weeks. We've had over 130 people join the system in the last 3 weeks. We've had over 70 people join the Platinum Squad in the last sort of 6 weeks. And people that have been in free calls are like, why don't you guys have tens of thousands of people instead of like 1,200, 1,300 members? It's because firstly, people don't have the patience for it. 2, they don't believe it's real. Like there was a video posted the other day on AFL TikToks, and there was a guy arguing in the comments saying this is gambling. You can't beat the bookies. Like it's not possible. And to be fair, I actually want people to think that, because it's actually better that you think you can't beat them than if you think you can beat them doing silly shit, because then if you do this stuff, you'll actually lose more money thinking that than actually believing you can't. But then once you see this, you can then understand that it is possible to beat the bookies. 1,300 people are doing it in our community. Myself personally, when I was 22, I found some methods in match betting and made myself 300K in a 6-7 year period. Set up my life from it. Tom's made over probably the same 300K. Lenny's made over 150. Steve's made over like 70, 80. He started later and then kind of got into this business with us. Like between the 4 of us, we're pushing like close to maybe over 750K. Now that's not to gloat, but yes, you can make a lot of money from it. And if you're not doing it, you're literally missing out on free money, because yeah, it's a money glitch. There was a kid we did a podcast with the other week, 20 years old, not even 20, set up his life as well with match betting. And it's like, well, why aren't more people doing this? It's like the burning question.
There's a good question in here that says, I understand that you can make that kind of money, but how much do you need to start?
Yeah, great question. Have you looking at the YouTube as well?
I'm replying.
Yeah, see. Sorry, how much you need to start. So you can start with, it depends what you're trying to achieve. Like, I like to, okay, let's dumb it down talking about how much you can make first and how much you need to start making money. And then let's talk about the actual holistic view of this whole thing and how it all fits in. So you can start with, technically, you could start with $500. Now, if you look at this example here, if you did this and you started with $500, we've now still got $100 in Sportsbet that I haven't forgotten about. So hopefully someone's asked, what do you do with this? But we'll get to that in a second. Let's just say we invested 100 and then we put 333 in here. Technically, we've started with $433.33. But now we have essentially 500. So we've started with 433. We now have 500. Now, this isn't what we would do, because if you then withdraw this money, if it wins, you could potentially get banned because you've just opened up an account and done what we don't want you to do. But essentially, you've got now $500. Now, if you repeat this 10 times, you would have another 600. And then you could have another 1,200, and then all of a sudden it compounds. And I started personally with about $1,000. 12 months later, I had 40K bank. 3-4 years later, I had a 150K bank. So you can start with $500, but how much you start with, like if you started with 100,000, you're not going to make 20 times the amount of money if someone's starting with 500, because you're limited by the promotions, the bonuses, the specials. So for most people, the most ideal starting capital would be like between 2,000 and 5,000, but you can start with 500, 700, 600, 800. And once you see this, you can put your extra $100 in if you want to start, like if you've got savings, like obviously we don't want to get people taking money out of their savings, but if you're earning 500 a week and you're slowly like topping up your capital, which people do in our community, and they're still investing more into their accounts, things start to compound a lot faster once you hit that sort of 2, 5, 10K bankroll. But to answer the question, $1,000 is plenty to start with, but the most ideal would be 2 to 5. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say 100%. If you've got 2 to 5, like it's a piss take.
Yeah, but what I wanted to clarify with that, how much do you need to start? Well, to start learning doesn't cost you a cent. It doesn't. You don't have to buy anything. You can watch hours of free content. Don't create any accounts. Like starting for me isn't making money. Starting for me is learning. Starting for me is setting a foundation. Starting for me is nailing this principle, then nailing the next video, then nailing the new concept, and then all of a sudden in a month's time, you're ready to learn. Like people join the Platinum Squad, which is our paid course, right? And they can learn 12 hours of video content, which is going to take them a while to get through their heads. It's like going to university, learning a musical instrument, playing chess. You can't just pick up the musical instrument and learn how to play it. Like you have to take your time. It's slow, right? But once you've done that, you then have a new skill. You then have knowledge. You then have the power to use that skill. That doesn't cost you anything to learn, right? Apart from obviously if you buy the course. But you don't have to have $2,000 available right now to learn. You could buy the course today, learn it. Obviously the free course comes before that. You could learn it and then start in 2 months when you have more money. It just really depends on where your focus is. If you're focused on getting your course fee back in the first 2 weeks, then you're at the wrong mindset. But if your focus is on 12 months and you allow 1 month of learning at the start and then 11 months of making profit after that, then that's what we want people to think. So it's a very, very complex question. And there's also like the mindset change. If you're coming from a losing background, you stopping your losing is actually you starting making money, because your net position at the end of the day, if you're losing $300 a month, right, from gambling, and then all of a sudden you start with our content and you stop losing that 300 without you placing a single bet, making more money, you've now up $300 a month. And that's $3,600 a year. So
there's a question here from a current subscriber.
Yeah.
I've been on since the start and made a stack of coin, but now I'm struggling to keep accounts even with great non-promo ratio.
Is he platinum?
Any thoughts/ideas for a long-term follower to keep accounts?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. If he's not platinum, well, join platinum, because we do teach you how to sustain accounts for way longer. However, it's a hard question.
There was another question in here. Is there a cap how much you can make?
Yes, because, okay, let's go to a different topic and talk about how people are making money. Like the most common question, I would say, you got a lot of free course questions, Tom.
He said he is platinum, by the way.
He is?
Yeah.
What's his unit size?
I'm sure he'll answer now.
And how many accounts does he have? How many has he had banned in how long?
Michael said it still amazes me how quickly she turns bonuses over so easily.
Yeah, and that's his partner, who would turn them over in 10 seconds. Not doing this, they do it much faster, and she would average 80%. So.
G'day, Drew.
All right, so in Australia, the best, I guess, the easiest way to keep making money. I don't want anyone to try and do this on their own, but the best way to make money is off the second and third promotions, I would say. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So every bookie in Australia, well, not every, but like let's just say 30 bookies, 40 bookies in Australia offer second and third bonus backs. So essentially, if you place a bet on a horse, just a straight bet on the win, and the horse comes second or third, you get a bonus back. Now, if you've watched the live so far, you would understand now what a bonus bet is worth, okay? Bonus bet is now worth 65% of its value. Now, to answer the question, is it capped? Most bookies are offering a maximum of 50 on that bonus back, okay? So if you put 300 on the horse, no one should be doing this, I mean, people do, but yeah. $300 on the horse and it comes second or third, you're only getting a $50 bonus bet back. So you've lost 300, but you don't get 300 bonus, you only get 50. So you can turn that 50 bucks into $32.50. For people who are platinum, they'll turn it into 40 bucks. So let's take that, and this is what the system does essentially. Like, not in isolation, we have hundreds of different tips throughout a year, whatever. We have a system that works long term, but this principle here gives you the mathematical edge. Because if you get this bonus, even though you've lost $50, right? Let's just say your horse it loses, $50 gone, but then you turn it back into $32.50. You've now only lost $17.50. So you're still lost, but you haven't lost 50, you've lost this. And for the bookie, they essentially have given you a reduced downside. So that's your edge, right? That you've just got back $32.50 every time you get one of these back. And, okay, why is it capped? Because you can't go and put $20,000 on this because there's cap. Now, people do, they go and do things to an extreme, but there's still a cap because of this. So, not sure if that answers that question.
There's a good question here. Can you please tell us as to when you guys are available for questions and help if someone has some extra questions or guidance?
Whenever you want, you can DM us on Instagram. You can jump into the Discord. You can book a free call. I will say, if you are a paid system member, which is our horse system, you get allocated a personal customer service coach. Every single person who is welcomed into the channel gets a personal coach who walks you through the content, who asks you questions. What's your bankroll? What's your goal? How many bookies do you have? What is your history as a gambler? What type of person are you? Like, this all helps us to personally tailor the advice to you. So if you're a non-member, same goes. If you want a question, DM. Tom will get back to you. You want to book a free call with myself, Tom or Steve, book one, website, Linktree. It's all there if you want to. So I don't know if that answers that question.
If someone's a non-member and they're watching this now and they want to get started, like what is the process?
Do the free course. Would you agree?
So where do they find that?
Linktree in the bio of AFL TikTok / our Instagram.
And how long will that take?
The system AUS. That'll take you 90 minutes. Now, that doesn't have to be done in one go. Everyone today has impatience and lack of patience, but if you sat down for 90 minutes and you don't walk out of that 90 minutes without a mind-blown idea in your head as to how is this possible, then I'd be shocked, especially if you've never heard of it. And then from there, it's really up to you. Some people then go, yep, join Platinum, join the system, make 30K in the next 12 months. Other people watch 3 videos and you never see them again and they just go back to doing whatever they're doing. Missed opportunity. So I guess it's up to you. Like, if you watch that free course and don't know where to go after that, then reach out, book a call, but you should have a clear understanding, especially the way the free course is designed. So it'll run you through stuff like this. It'll run you through how things work, the principles, and then it'll say, all right, well, if you've got $1,000, do this, join this first. If you've got 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, do this, whatever. And then this is how you're going to get. The aim for everyone should be to get to making $3,000 per month by month 6. Now, how you're going to do that is you're going to, obviously we have two main paid accessible products, which are the horse investment service called the System, and then we have the Platinum Squad, which is a one-off course fee accessing the 930 member community as well as 12 hours of content. So whichever sort of person you are, you will choose which one to go. But ideally, obviously everyone should start with the Platinum Squad if they have the funds, filter over to the System, and then by month 6, you then join maybe the Sports System, which is an additional add-on to Platinum Squad, and you're making 3K a month, which is what the aim should be. But it all starts with the free course, asking questions. The best thing is, like, we want you to come to us and ask questions, because we've dealt with literally thousands of people over the last 4 years of us being live. Like, we've spoken to gamblers, non-gamblers, people losing 200K a year, people never bet before, like all this stuff. We know how to speak to you without sounding arrogant. We can identify you pretty quickly as to whether you're going to be successful or not based on the answers that you give us, okay? If you come to us and say, hey, with this thorough response, we know this guy, okay, he switched on, he wants to do things properly. Whereas if you're someone who says, hey, how do I make like $1,000 today? It's like, well, you clearly haven't watched any of the content, because this ain't a get-rich-quick scheme. So if you watch the content, take your time. It's very, very simple. It's just a matter of patience, reaching out, and then saying, well, why can't I do this?
I've got 2 things here for you. The first one is Michael says, guys, just have patience, because if you do, you will be able to do all of this with ease. Just have patience. So that's 100% spot on, Michael. Next question is, what's the biggest mistake most punters make? You said before, and this isn't part of the question, but you said before that most punters lose.
Yeah.
Like, are you guessing that?
No.
So why do most punters lose? What's the biggest mistake they make? Can you walk people through that?
Is that the question?
One of the questions.
Is that someone who's a sub?
I saw it a while ago now.
Okay, so good question, to be honest, because I reckon most people don't know this.
Yeah. The question is, well, what's the biggest mistake most punters make? That's the question.
Now, this is debatable. I have a very, very, very strong opinion on why most people lose, and this opinion is influenced by other things, but essentially, bankroll management. So what does that mean? Well, most people who bet don't think about how much they're betting, how they're betting, and how that's going to end up. They simply just grab their phone, place an amount that they feel at the time is good, and then whatever happens, happens. And ultimately, that is why we have the worst gambling nation on the planet. Like, that's a fact, Google it. And that's why we have the best nation for match betting, because of that, okay? So what do I mean by that? Well, bankroll management means that, okay, if I gave you $100 to bet with now, most people probably won't go and place $1 100 times over a course of a 6-month period. They'll probably go and place $50, $30, and then the last bet, $20, they got none left. They might have a win, it goes up to 200, and then they just put 200 on the last race. So essentially, they're not betting with the consistent amounts would be the number one reason. Would you agree with that, Tom?
Yeah, probably.
Now, why they don't bet with a consistent amount is because, one, they don't actually think about it like that. Two, they're influenced by what's happening immediately. So they might place a bet, it wins, and then they place a bigger bet because they've got now more money. Whereas if they kept betting the same amount, they would actually be way more likely not to win, but they'll lose their money slower, which ultimately is better. So the way I like to think of it is, okay, if I said to you, this is a really, I don't know if the boys agree with this one, it's a really complex topic, but if I said to you, right, for the rest of your life, you have $1,000 to spend on betting. And obviously if you're not a gambler, this is not relevant, but if you're a gambler, if I said to you, you can only spend $1,000 for the rest of your life on betting. You can't put any more in. That's just, you just pretend it's a fantasy world where as soon as you place another bet, you get killed or something. That's the rule. Right? $1,000, you get deleted, pretend it's Squid Game. If you spend more than $1,000, you're dead, okay? On your first day, you ain't betting, I'll tell you this for free, you ain't betting 500 because you're dead if you go over 1,000. So you may as well, if you're going to only bet 1,000 for the rest of your life, you're going to start betting fucking 10 cents, 5 cents, 1 cent. And that's what like gamblers don't think about. They don't care because the next week, their $100 that they lost, they go back to their fucking paycheck and then 200 goes in, then 150 goes in the next week. And it's just a never-ending cycle of depositing, never taking any money out. But if people think like this, and this is why the system wins, is because we allocate someone a bankroll and say, okay, your unit size is 1/100th of this. So if you came to us and you started following the system, you're going to have a unit size of $10. Now, units are a little bit complex, but essentially every time we say put 1 unit on a horse, you would put $10. If we say put 2 units, you would put $20. And we know that because our system will never go negative 100 units, which is 100 times 10, we can't lose in the long term. And that's why it's not gambling, because we repeat the process of bonus bets, analysis, maybe a little bit complex now, but essentially the main reason why people lose is because they don't do this. They don't bet with a unit size, they don't ration their money, they just bet with whatever they feel like at the time. And that's influenced by whether they're on the piss, whether they're feeling good, whether they've just broken up with their missus, that's a bit extreme, whether they're having a fight with someone, whether they're angry, whether they're happy. That'll influence how big this is. Whereas if you consistently do 1% of this always, yeah, cool, you might lose long term if you don't have an edge, but you'll still lose way slower than this person who's going first bet, 100, wins, gets 500, next bet, 400, next bet, 200, fucking 2 weeks later, this is done, he's finished. Whereas this person is actually going to accumulate this over time and it's going to grow and grow and grow. So, bit of a long-winded answer, but inconsistent betting sizes is the short answer.
Your mate Jaden Red, 05.
Already.
He wrote, yeah, you're making a fortune.
Yeah, Jaden Redfern, you made our podcast this week, man, because you were sort of triggered by the fact that we made a bit of money over the last 3 weeks, but you don't actually understand, unfortunately, that that's been built over a 4-year period, and the only reason why we make money is because we're making other people money. That's what people need to understand. It's all good and well to say, look, oh yeah, cool, you got a flashy office and you got 130 subs sign up in the last week, you guys are rolling in it and all this shit. Brother, if these people don't make money, we aren't in this office and we don't have 1,200 members paying us every month by choice, okay? 600 every month and 1,200 in total. But if we don't make people money, they're gone, they're laters. And that's why, like, great, who cares? Go and tell fucking Elon Musk that he's making money. Like, what's that going to achieve, brother? Who cares? Do something else with your life that actually makes you more money, and maybe you'll be a bit more happy about your financial situation, and you might not comment that shit on Instagram. But anyway,
this isn't a question, but like I've seen a couple of names pop up of people that are, in quotations, haters or people that are a little bit salty. Like, do you have a message for them without being rude?
Oh, that's very general. But if you're a hater, ask yourself what you're hating and why you're hating, and I guarantee you You don't hate us.
No, I can reframe the question. Yeah, of course.
You hate your situation or
us.
your financial situation, and you wish that potentially it was better. So instead of hating or spreading negative shit, like good hate us, who cares? But ask yourself why you're hating, because everything we do is transparent. Everything is in front of you. We don't talk shit. Like if you want to learn, there's a lot of content. You can jump on free calls. You can do whatever you want. Have a chat to us. But I guarantee you, you're not hating us because you don't know us personally. Identify why you're actually hating. Ask yourself that.
What do you say to people that say that you can do it on your own, or that you can Google and you can learn match betting on Google?
Yeah, you can. Do it. You'll make 10 times less than someone who goes and does it with the leverage of our experience, our mistakes. Now, this is not to say that we're the only experts of match betting on the planet, but I guarantee you that you like this the most, and maybe you can explain that better. But we have done this, right, ourselves. We have over 25 years of experience between the four of us teaching it. Our team members now on board, another probably 20 years of experience together. But you can go two ways in life. You can work shit out yourself and make errors that cost you thousands. You can work shit out yourself, losing your accounts, wasting time, wasting energy, or you can press a button and you can pay an amount and leverage us and we'll do it for you and we'll remove the mistakes for you because we've done them. And then all of a sudden, in 2 years' time, you're 30 steps ahead of where you would have been if you did it yourself, and you're 5-10 times the profit that you would have been if you did it yourself. And that's the difference between, maybe 10 years ago you could say go read a book, go Google it, you could work it out, but these days there's so much shit that is just press a button, fast forward your learning 10 times, 20 times faster than doing it on your own. And if you're someone who thinks long term, I know Tom's a big advocate of Hormozy and stuff like that, press the button and fast track, because we've done it and this is all we do. We fast track people's profits, learning, mentoring, because we've made the mistakes for you. You don't have to join if you don't want to, do it yourself, but I'll personally guarantee that you won't get the same results.
This is a common question that comes up. This is more of a Twitter question, I think.
Yeah.
What happens when the bookies take away all of the bonus bets?
Yeah, I mean, when's that happening?
I'm not sure. That's just the question.
It might happen. People have been talking about it for 3 years, and in that 3 year period, I mean, last year I reckon, how much do you reckon we've taken off the bookies? Not us personally, but our community.
I don't know, 20 mil?
I'd say probably more, but yeah, let's just go 20 mil, right? So,
but
who cares?
Why worry about that?
Correct. I have a really good saying that you can say if it's good or not, but worry about what you can control. Okay, you can't control when that's going to happen. It might happen in 12 months. Last April, 8 months ago, people were messaging us telling us our system's done, promos are going. Like, brother, 8 months ago, there's been another 10 million that's been made by a community. And in another 12 months, there'll be another 20, 30 million. So it's like, don't worry about that. Just take advantage of what's there now. If it changes, I still believe there will be more opportunity. We've seen the industry in 2016 go from offering crazy promos where we would make $10,000 on one AFL match risk-free, and now like things have changed more towards different promos. The bookies have adapted that. They've capped things to $50, but there's still opportunity to make tens of thousands every year. So where, unfortunately, this is sad to say, but where there are losing people, gamblers, etc., there is always going to be opportunity for smart people. In any industry, it's designed for losers. Like, this sounds really bad, but look at like currency trading. Everyone loses. You look at stocks, most people lose. Like, obviously you would hear people win, but the only reason people can win is because people lose. And the gambling industry is probably the worst example of that in terms of, like, the clearest example is 99% of people lose, so therefore the 1% have the opportunity to make the money and take back off the bookies what the 99% should be doing, but unfortunately don't. So yeah, like that question is kind of valid because there has been like a government push to remove advertising and stuff like that, but ultimately, like, I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I can't see it happening in the next month, 2 months, 6 months, maybe in 12 months, 18 months, maybe. But like, who gives a shit? Take advantage of the next 12 months. If it stops, well, it stops. There'll be other opportunities to other stuff.
Michael said again, it's an investment, bros. Invest a little of your own money to make more money.
Yeah, this is what I hate. I don't know what he's responding to, but this is 100% an investment. This ain't betting, gambling. They're called the act of placing the bet is the investment. That is the tool. That is the I guess, the work part of it. But we spoke about this in our last podcast. Steve said if we got 100 investors in a room and 100 match bettors in a room, everybody, if you got them up in a room and said, who's going to make more money? I'd say 95 people would say that the investors would make money and 5 more money, and 5 people would say the match bettors will make more money. Now, make more money is subjective, but I'll tell you something for free. If you go and trade stocks, if you go and invest in a stock, if you go invest in a house, if you go and invest in anything, there's risk involved. Now, it's really, really controversial to say this, but match betting, if you do it properly, if you don't make errors, if you do things with patience, if you don't gamble, if you stay disciplined, there is no risk in the long term. Okay, the only risk is you making a human error, which, e.g., you put a wrong amount on your calculator and you place the bet wrong. But if you don't do any of that, your investment is safer than buying a house, is safer than, that's controversial, but it's true, because in no other investment are you given free money. There's no other investment. Do you agree with that?
Oh, it's definitely ROI, the best.
And the ROI, the time, you can start with $500, like Mayo, for example. Mayo was on our podcast a month ago. He's been in our community for 2 years. I'm not saying how much he's made, but let's just say he set up his life from it. He's not even 20. He started with $800. Now, if you can tell me any other investment that starts with 800 and becomes, I'm not going to say the amount, but let's just say 50, conservatively, 50K in 2 years. Now, people are going to write crypto, people are going to write stocks. That's gambling, because there's no guarantee that you're profiting from that, because you have to rely on the market moving your way. With this, you don't rely on shit. You just you just press the buttons and it makes you money slowly over time. Now, he didn't make 50K in 1 month. He probably only made $100 in his first month. He may not even made money in his first month. He didn't. Then in 12 months, he's made 25, 50. He actually made 50 his first 12 months. It's on a podcast. And then in 2 years, you can imagine what he's made. That started with 800. If you can find that in any other investment, please tell me, I'll sign up to it now.
How much time does it take?
Yeah, good question. Time. Okay, so are these from subs or what?
No, I just asked you that one because of what you were talking about in your investment.
Are we still on the AFL TikToks or it's done?
No, you just jumped off before.
Okay, cool.
Still hovering around 20, 25 on the live, which is good.
Sick.
There was 14 on YouTube before. It was blowing up.
Nice. Break the internet. No, this is good for people wondering and stuff.
I'm sure there's been people on for a while.
If you've got questions, please ask them. What was the question, sorry? Time.
How much time does it take, sorry?
Okay, time. Now, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, I would say you would be more involved with match betting throughout the week. These days, probably your Saturdays are your money makers.
Why is Saturday the money maker?
Okay, because of what I spoke about before. We have all the second and third bonus back offers, all the main promotions that are on Saturdays. People who are doing the sports system, they're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially through the winter months with the AFL promos. But Saturdays between, let's say, depending on the season, at this time of the year, what is it, 12 o'clock, first race?
Yeah, around there, 12, 15.
12 to 5?
It's 5:30, yeah.
I feel sick writing 5:30, so I'm going to write 17:30. I don't use fucking shit time like that. 17:30, that's 5:30 for those who don't know. But between these 5 hours, that's your money making time, okay? That's where you'll make, I'd say, 80-90% of your money for your match betting. If you're not on the sports system, that is, you're probably making a little bit more in other times. But Saturday, horse racing, that's obviously where the system is, the horse investment service. That's where we obviously do Wednesdays as well, but that's where 80 to 90% of our investments are going to happen on that day. So if you can free up that, now this doesn't have to be every single weekend. It can be 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4. You're still going to make money. Obviously, the more you invest in it, the more you'll make. If you do 1 Saturday a month, you're not going to make the same as someone who does 4. But that's your 5 hours there. Now, that then probably add another, 2-3 hours spread out in 20-30-minute blocks throughout the week to manage your accounts to make sure they're not getting banned. Then all of a sudden you've got sort of 8 hours in a week. And that's not fixed. You could do 4, you could do 3, you could do 2. The best part about match betting is you can do it whenever you want. Because if I teach you, hey, this is how you make money, and this is more of like a platinum scored thing. If I teach you, hey, go and do this method, you can do it whenever you want, e.g. the horse promo method. You can spend 1 hour a week, 10 hours a week doing that, 8 hours. And then obviously once people understand how to make sort of 2-3K a month, they then go, okay, well, how do I multiply this? There's people in the community that are spending closer towards 20 hours a week, and they're making sort of 50 to 100K per year. Obviously, like with Lenny and stuff like that, that's been talked about on podcast. But generally speaking, comfortably, anyone starting could probably do this with, 5 hours a week. And obviously the start
on
is
on a Saturday.
Yeah, on a Saturday, and then your extra sort of 8 hours. But like, again, this is like, it's all subjective. It's in your control, because there's people in our community. Someone asks always like, oh, can I do this while working full time? 100%, because if your Saturday's free, and we say like, if someone didn't have their Saturday free, doesn't mean you can't match bet either. But if you can get this free, this is where you're going to make your money. And if you can be really efficient, people in the community, like Mayo, for example, he's making a lot of money, but he only spends 6 hours a week doing this. And that's because he's worked out, okay, well, I do everything in those 6 hours. I learn how to be efficient. I do it properly, and I want this to work. He works full time, 10, 11, 12-hour days throughout Monday to Friday, then he does this, and it's like double the income, whatever it is. So if you want to make it work, you'll fit it in. The only thing that won't work is if you obviously consistently work on these hours. Like, obviously we've had people in the community have gone, quit their job on a Saturday, move to another day because they want their match betting time free, because they understand how much they can make. But yeah, generally, like, it's a hard question to answer, but I'd say between 4 and 10 hours a week, most people.
Does matched betting affect your credit score / ability to get a loan?
No. So, okay, ability to get a loan. This is a little glitch. Okay, if you're getting a loan, this might be controversial advice, but it's just common sense. If you're thinking about getting a loan with Commonwealth Bank, then do your match betting in NAB. Now, technically, you have to show people your betting statements, but I don't know, maybe you can answer that one a bit better, because you obviously, it's a grey area. But if you're doing, it won't affect your credit score. Firstly, that's no. Obviously, if you accrued debt with a betting company, which I don't even think you can do anymore, that would affect it, but that's out. In terms of a loan, just use a different bank.
Send us a DM on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll explain a little bit better, but no one should be stopping their match betting because they think you're holding yourself back. And there's been many people in the community who have been asked this question. They simply do a different bank and then they just continue their match betting. They get their loan. We've had members buy houses from match betting. Like, it's not a one or the other thing. You can do both. And
can girls do it?
Yeah, of course. We have, I would say, how many Platinum Squad members? 30?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say 20 to 25. Yeah.
And then in the system, we'd have maybe another 30 females. Now, it's a tough one because we wish we did get more girls involved with it, to be honest, because I think it's fair to say match or betting in general is more of a blokey sort of stereotype, men, whatever. And that's fair, but at the same time, this is also like a bit sort of stereotype as well, but I would say that girls are way more successful at this than males because of the fact that
I would fully agree.
They're more measured generally. They are more patient. They're not erratic in terms of the way they learn. They take their time, and it's so much easier dealing with females in the DMs, in the community, in the customer service, because when you say watch these videos, watch these things, they don't go and watch 2 out of 10 minutes and say, I'm done watching the video, watch this. And it's like, brother, it's actually explained in the video. Why didn't you watch it? And most of the time, and we can say this because we've seen it anecdotally, the girls are going to be better at it than males in terms of the patience and stuff like that. But the only problem is for girls is the bookies they're sexist essentially. They will say like, okay, hey, what's a girl's name? Isabel, you're banned quicker because we suspect that you are abusing promotions, and there are actually bookies out there that don't offer promotions to girls on the assumption that a male might be using a female account, e.g. his partner, his wife, his sister, to essentially get more promos, and some bookies don't actually offer this, but there's ways around it, and obviously we've had many successful females in the community, so yes, girls can do it, of course. I'm going to turn the light on, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
Any more questions?
I might have missed a couple. Michael said definitely works for us, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a female involved there.
Yeah.
What, I'm just having a quick look through some of our old FAQs. Obviously heaps come through the DMs, but there's still a shit ton of people watching. Why do bookies offer promos?
Good question.
What's the actual point of that? If you're telling everyone that you can use them to make easy money, why would they offer
I kind of explained that at the start, right? But
I'd say there's quite a few new people on as well.
But I'll go deep here.
Deep.
Okay. One thing that I've learnt in this business and in this industry is humans are predictable, and the study of psychology, if you want to call it that, and behavioural patterns is very, very intriguing to me. In fact, I'm going to start doing a little bit more depth in terms of the theory of psych. But the bookies literally prey on human psychology. And now this sounds really, really, really morbid. What's another word? Like really, I don't know, it's not good to hear, but this is how it works, right? The bookies make money. Sorry, okay, let's sum this down. The aim of the bookies is to make money by taking money off people. That's as simple as it gets, okay? So we have bookie, and let's use Sportsbet. They're the best example of the best marketing. No one beats them, okay? They're the best. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Is it reflecting?
No, it looks alright. It actually looks fine. Maybe use black if you can, but
Where is a black marker? Okay, aim of bookie is to make money. Fuck, that's not going to be nice on the eyes. Is that better or worse?
I'm a bit delayed. No, it's fine.
Bookie, aim,
That's better.
make money. How do they do that? They take money off you. The only way the bookie can make money, obviously they've got sponsorships and whatever, the AFL, fucking all that shit. Take money off someone. And how that's done is by losing money through betting. Okay, now, how is this going to be achieved? Well, okay, the bookies are going to make you bet and make you lose. But how do they do that? Like, hey, bet with us, we're going to take your money. No. Hey, bet with us. We've got all these cool promos and you can make all this money and look, you can bet with your mates and all this shit. That is what they do. So the psychology is, okay, why do they offer promotions? Hey, Tom, come bet with us. If your bet loses, we'll give you a bonus bet. We'll give you your money back. Now, punters don't think of that as, oh, fuck, excuse my French, the bonus is not my money. They think of it as, let's just take, this is one method, $50 bonus back promotion. Now, why is that going to make more people lose? Well, in theory, if I said to you, hey, come bet with us, place bets on horses, or hey, come bet with us, if your bet loses, we'll give you second and third bonus back. You're probably going to be more inclined to bet if this dangling carrot is sitting in front of you like this, okay? This here is elite because, and this goes even deeper with other things as well, but if your bet loses, right, you're now like, well, it's not as bad anymore. Like, I'm getting a bonus back. Like, my horse came second. And then, yeah, cool, you've lost your 50. But the act of then, what do you think a gambler's going to do with this? We asked this at the start of the live. If anyone's watching, what's a gambler going to do with this? If their horse loses, they've lost $50. They've now got $50 bonus bet in their account. Anyone want to ask or answer?
Let's see.
I'll wait 10 seconds.
My stream's a little bit delayed.
That's all right.
There are a few subs on here. I'm sure someone will answer it. The rice farmer said, love the content, lads. Jamie said they're going to put it on another horse. They're going to punt it.
What are they trying to get at? That's correct.
Someone else said $2.20 lock same game multi AFL. Mitch said donate it back.
Who said the 220?
Some person. Oliver is his name.
Oliver, if you do that, you only make
Jamie said they're going to chase their loss.
220, right? If you put a $50 bonus on a 220, you actually make, is it 60? 50 times, yeah, 60. No?
Mel asked...
Is that correct? Tom?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
$50 bonus and $2.20. You get 60 bucks.
50 times 2 is 100, you get $50, yeah, so you get an extra 10.
So you get 60 bucks, which is 120% bonus. So you're only going to make $28.50 more than you would if you turned it over risk-free, but you're gambling it.
Mel wants to know...
Probably don't do that.
I'm just going to jump in really quickly.
Sorry.
Mel wants to know, do you guys tell us who to bet on on a Saturday between 12 and 5:30.
Yes. So 12 and 5, we have a horse system, which is this guy behind you. I'll move this. See that logo? Can everyone see it? Here, the system.
Yeah.
That is our horse investment service. That is our best method, our best, most profitable, most convenient, the one that comes with a personal coach. So yes, we do. But before that happens, before you place the bets, you need to set up your accounts properly. You need to know what a unit is. You need to know how to set up your accounts before you can start using promotions. You need to know all the intrinsicness of how it works. But if you are confused, there is a video on this that literally dumbs it down for you, as well as you can send us a DM. But going back to this, what do most people do? Essentially, the message was they're trying to gamble it, chase their loss. But most people will try and do like a bigger payout, like they'll try and make 500, they'll hit like an $11 odds, $100 odds, try and turn it into $5,000, whatever. It's a free hit because it's not their money. But in reality, it is, because this $50 bonus, if you watch at the start, is actually at least $32.50 if you turn it over risk-free. Now, this idea inevitably, this is going to lose the bonus. So they've now lost 50 and they've now lost their bonus. And even though they haven't technically lost any more money, yeah, cool, if you look at it like a hypothetical, if they turned it over, they have lost an extra 32. But technically they haven't. The net position is still negative 50. What's happened in the brain of the gambler is they've actually had another thrill chase, another watch of an event, another, fuck, I could have won. Like, imagine if this bonus was on a multi and 3 out of 4 legs hit. You can imagine what's going to go on in the head of a gambler then. All of this has been created just from offering this. This became it became tick, 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 X. And then, so close. I'm going to put another $50 in. And then they've created this cycle of gamble. And this is the same. Change this to, this was on horses. Change this to same gamers. Same game multi. 1 leg back, bonus back. 1 leg fails, bonus back. All of a sudden, you've now created this addictive habit that you're now chasing this every weekend. And then you don't just do 1 of these, you do 5 of these and 10 of these. And then all of a sudden we've got this hypnotized, fucking toxic culture of everyone doing this, because now we can all do this together with our Bet With Mates as well. We've got Bet With Mates in here. So I can do this with my mate. I can bond over this with my mate. Hey mate, what same game have you got on? Have you got fucking this on? Oh, I think he's a lock. I've heard this, like, Nathan Brown told me to do this one. Oh, pops on the TV. Oh yeah, I'll do that. He thinks he's in good form. I'll do that as well. Tomorrow there's Ladbrokes are offering sort of, if your horse comes second or third, you can get $100 bonus back. I got an email. Fuck, they're offering me 100, not 50. I'm going to put more in. All of a sudden, we are doing this, and we're here, and we have losing people money, which is making the bookies money. Long story. Why do we offer promos? That's why. Bookies offering promos because it accelerates the losing of money. They are giving you money to lose more, to create more habits. If I told you, hey, go to the casino, I'll give you $100, like, this is the best way. Hey, Tom, go to the casino, $100. Tom's going to lose that money. And now, even though it wasn't his money, he's now going to be a little bit like, not addicted to the casino, but he's going to be like, oh, fuck, this is pretty cool. Like, I could have made 500 off that. Now in his head, he's like, I might go again next week. Then he gets his own money out and goes in and puts it in fucking black and he loses roulette, whatever. He has some fun, whatever. His mates say, oh, but it's only fine. Like, I'm only losing $20 a week, whatever, $30 a week. They start earning more money. They start losing $100 a week. They start then chasing more money. They hit a winner. That's the thing as well. People don't get. People say, oh, well, but people win. People winning is actually the best thing ever for these bookies. And winning is subjective, because winning doesn't mean that at the end of a 12-month period, they've put in $10,000 and withdrawn 20. People see winning as, hey man, look at this bet I fucking did. It's 1 out of 30,000 I've placed this year, but it won. And it's like, bro, where's the other 29,000 that lost? That's profit. That's 10K profit. That's in versus out of your account in a 12-month period. Winning a bet for a bookie is a dream, okay? Especially ones that hit big. I'm sure you've seen all these green ticks, people posting flashy cars on TikTok. Shout out to that Punters Hub bloke who cons people with the flashy cars and the green ticks. I make this much money and all this shit. That is literally what he's doing this. He's selling you the dream by saying that's what he does, when in reality, you'll never see a statement. You'll never see a set of results. You'll never see a zoomed out version of a 12-month period. You'll never see anything like that because, and the same with the bookie. Tab will also always do Facebook posts when someone hits like a $60,000 winner. Hey, look at this punter of the week. He's made 60 grand off $2. What a lucky punter. Everyone bet like him. Because if you bet like him, you're going to do this. But someone's going to win, okay? Same with Tats Lotto. If nobody won Tats Lotto, no one would play. Same with the pokies. If no one went to the pokey machines and the jackpot hit, then fucking no one would bet on the pokies. Someone has to hit the jackpot because that then sells the dream to everyone else. And this is psychology. This is literally humans. They just get conned by this mix of everything that the bookies are doing. And they're literally like sitting there in a room, not that this would happen, but they're literally saying, well, how can we, like, this is what, like, Sportsbet's ads are elite. Like, they're so good and they're so smart. They make funny shit. They do this. I don't use Sportsbet because they're the best at it. Okay, now, at the end of the day, they're trying to achieve this, but they do it in a way that's not, if I said to you, like, hey, if I'm a bookie, hey man, come pay me and I'll like take your money. That's literally what they're doing. But they do it in a way where it's like, they deceive you to think that it's fun, to think that it's normal, to think that you can do it for cool with your mates. And then all of a sudden you find yourself $10,000 down in a 12-month period and then $100,000 down over 10 years or whatever. So cool, do that.
Jaden wrote, you're making a fortune, you did it again. But unfortunately this time the subs have come for him. Thanks, we are Jaden. And I said, Jaden is a system subscriber. He's also
That's the funny thing. Jaden is hating us because we make money, even though he's making money with us. If that doesn't tell you that Jaden doesn't like his financial situation or wants to be better, then Jaden, unfortunately, you need to do some reflection. And I don't care about being ruthless. Like, if you're going to do that, cop it, because
wasting time.
I used to do this as well, though. Like, I used to be an osteopath, right? I lived off my match betting, but I did do osteo for 2 to 3 years. And I can resonate with this, Jaden. I used to see people post about how passionate they were about osteo. Fuck, I'm opening up this. I'm so happy with my job. And I used to sit there, fuck. I hate that because I'm not passionate about it. And whether it's lucky or not, I discovered something that I am passionate about, and that's why we are doing successful shit now. But I resonate with you. So in that time, I didn't know why I was salty at that person. They didn't do anything to me. I did not like them. They wrote something that triggered me. I saw something that triggered me because I personally wasn't happy with where I was at in terms of my satisfaction with my job. I then discovered this, and now we have something that I'm super passionate about. So I think the issues go deep, reflect, ask yourself why you're writing that and why it triggers you so much to write it. And if you want to book a call with me, more than happy to discuss it for free.
Yeah, there's a few people saying in here, jump on the system, you won't regret it. Mitch is in here saying, just join Platinum. What did he say? Take the emotion out of it and just join Platinum.
Yeah, but they're paying us.
There was a question in here. It's probably a bigger step forward than the conversation we've just been having, and we have just got quite a large influx of new people.
Yeah.
Can you just really quickly, I'm going to answer that question for you about the big unit size of the system, but there have been quite a few fresh people jump in. Can you just explain in less than 60 seconds what match betting is and why it's risk-free? I know we said it at the very start, but there's been a shit ton of new people jump on.
Do you have that?
People are asking what it is.
Do you have that?
What?
Do you have the? No, we're good. Okay, what is it? What is match betting?
60 seconds, and then we'll go to
okay, match betting is the use of incentives, free money, bonuses, specials that you can do simple methods to make money off. Now that's a little bit confusing, but
is it free?
Yes.
Tax free?
Yes. Any bookie in Australia, most bookies in Australia will give you something when you sign up. Let's just take the basic example. They give you a bonus bet. That bonus bet can be turned into risk-free money if you actually know how to do it. Those incentives, those promotions, those specials are designed for people to lose, but if you're smart enough, you use simple mathematics and you can turn it into guaranteed profit. If you want me to explain it, I did already, but that's the principle, okay? Think of it like, okay, you sign up to a credit card company, the credit card company gives you bonus points. They're essentially giving you, even though it's not free money, it's the same principle. Just think of it in match betting. Those bonus points can be turned into free money. You can cash them in, and that's what match betting is. Now, obviously, there's ways in which you can do it in horses sport. Obviously, different levels. It's complex. You can get promo banned. You can get your promos taken off you, whatever. But essentially, the act of making the money is very simple. It's from there. That's where it gets a little bit more complex. But it's not gambling. It's not. There's no risk. It's not taxable. And yeah,
If you need more help, send us a DM on Instagram saying live, so I know that you've watched this, and I'll send you some voice recordings after.
Essentially, if this is you, right now, you should be making $10,000 a year minimum in Australia. 18, Australia, mobile phone, patience.
There was a question before, what's the largest unit size you've seen run on the system from a subscriber?
300. What do you reckon?
I
Maybe
don't
400?
think you can follow on more than 200 without help.
Yeah, no, okay, so to clarify, yes, they're not, they're doing...
With one set of hands.
But also not just one set of hands, like actual knowing what they're doing.
Yeah, of course. Max is one of our coaches, he follows on 150.
150, Mayo's on 150.
And coaches people and helps them through the process. There'd be heaps on 100.
Lenny was on 300.
Yeah, but
Lenny's got a mentor that's on, someone he's mentoring, I think he's on like what?
1,000.
Actually?
Yeah. But he has some automation set up, which is what I mean. You can't, silly.
Yeah, okay. So do your math on what that makes your month.
Alright, this is a good question actually.
30K.
This is a good question. Jamie said, I'm a platinum member right now.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what I gain? Can you tell me what I gained from joining the system? Sorry, Jamie, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the response underneath you that says units.
Well, yeah, units, but that units ain't money for most people. Jamie, who is? Jot that username down. But
he's gonna send us a DM.
If you're not making money on the system, you're leaving massive opportunity. And why the system's so good? Okay, so this is a good question. It kind of needs to be a video that we need to make. Okay. All right. Think of this as, how do I do this? Okay, we've got the system here. Is that too fucking light? This is the system. We have Platinum Squad. Now, and then we have our sports system as well. But let's just leave that down the bottom because that's miles off.
Mel said, fuck this, I'm convinced. How much to join Platinum?
There's nothing to convince, brother. It's in front of you. It's 1,097.
Send us a DM, Mel, and I'll send you some voice recordings.
If you watch this video and you're on this live, I'll personally give you $100 off this for anyone who wants to jump on in the next.
There you go.
2 days.
You've all got $100 off. There was actually another question.
In fact,
how much it costs. So yeah, send us a DM. As I said, send us a DM saying live, or tell us that you're watching it, and I'll look after you after.
This is once off. You don't pay anything again. So anyone who's made 100K, 200K, 150, 50, they've paid this once. This is ongoing, but I'll talk about it in a second. Answer Jamie's question. What does the system do to Platinum members? Okay, the Platinum Squad teaches you how to set up your accounts, keep them open for way longer than the system content does. It teaches you how to use Betfair. It teaches you a whole heap of other different methods that you could technically do on your own with, e.g. the horse promo method, but ultimately the horse promo method is probably the best method in Platinum. It's a poor man's system, essentially. The system is going to make way more money for each dollar spent. It's going to make way more convenient money because we're telling you exactly what to bet on. And then as well as that, it's going to make you a little bit more efficient money in terms of like less energy invested. Like for example, the horse promo method, not going into specifics, but it requires you to do a little bit more. It's a bit more work intense, whereas the system is like, okay, place bet, turn off, turnover bonus, move on.
Well, Jordan's jumped in and said, for me, the system is a systematic way for me to match bet.
Yeah.
Provides me with potentially half of my profit from match betting.
Yeah.
Keeps me accountable too.
Yeah, that's the thing that people forget. A member today, Platinum member, messaged in his customer service channel. I sent him a 6-minute voice reply. He kind of said, I want to just focus on this and I want to stop this. And he's a Platinum member. And I said, brother, do not do that, because this guy personally was someone who struggled with discipline in the past. And he wants to do this on his own, essentially. And he thought he could do this on his own. Now, if you think you can do this on your own, I can guarantee you won't do it to the same level as us consistently, but more importantly, you will lose in the long term compared to what you could make if you had accountability, because inevitably you're then inventing things in terms of when something goes wrong, or you might have a negative period. You'll lose accountability, you'll lose discipline, you'll lose guidance, you don't have that community. Like, with all due respect, like our community now, I would say the Discord, let's just make this as another product. The Discord here slash the community is another, like this is obviously free part of this. This is like the ultimate weapon that just makes everything, it's like the glue of everything. If you're in here and you're in here and you're in here, if you're reading this, you're going to get so much better mindset, discipline, patience. You're going to leverage off everyone else. Like, for example, if we go like -3 on a day and you're a little bit sort of anxious, you're a little bit sort of, oh, fuck, this doesn't work. And then you have 30 people saying, hey, I've been here for 2 years. Hey, I've been here for 12 months. Don't worry about it. It'll turn around in a month. You're going to make 100 units in the next 6 months, 300 units in the next 12 months. All of a sudden, you're going to just be like, well, fuck, like, this is obviously real. And same with this live. Someone's just said, I'm joining because I've just seen this, and they've seen 300 people, well, not 300, but you've seen like 30 people in the comments who said they're subscribers and they're doing this for a long time. Like, it's just trust. It's like everything, it's all good and well to do this, but unless you have accountability, discipline, structure, like we do it for you, then it just as someone said, it's like, it's done for me. I just make my money. It makes me half my money. So as a Platinum Squad member, unless you're doing something crazy, you're leaving probably 20K on the table in an 18-month period if you're not on the system.
Michael said as well, for me, just listening to all of the content and the podcast has helped me so much to stop problem gambling.
Well, that's free.
So if nothing else, give it a go.
Yeah, podcasts are all free. You can watch any podcast, you can watch any vlog, but we also are going to get to you personally. We're going to send you constant reminders, voice messages in the channel, updates. Like, this is all like part of it. Like,
well, we spoke to Easty last night. He won't mind me saying this. And he said that like when he bought the system subscription for 89 bucks, 49, whatever he bought on the discount, and he said when I bought it for $49, and then I got a message from you blokes with a personal coach and 3 hours of videos to watch. He's like, I couldn't fucking believe it.
He couldn't believe the fact that there was like personal coaching, and like that's our that's another one, to be honest. Like, that's part of.
Reese Palmer has just said, maybe tell the crew about the spreadsheet that you provide once you sign.
Yeah, he loves that.
For me, this is priceless.
Yeah.
He says he calls it an accountability sheet.
Yeah, that's elite. So like, if this is the thing as well, probably that you could answer why most people lose. Most people wouldn't calculate their total profit and loss over a 12-month period, and if they did and looked at it, they would be obviously a little bit more reality check. A lot of people in the system, Platinum, they've got these spreadsheets. Not only does that spreadsheet tell you profit loss, it tells you where the profit's coming from, what method, what account it's in. It's also going to tell you, this is a bit more complex, but like promo ratio. So on each bookie, tracked automatically, how many promos you've used for Sportsbet, how many promos you've used for Tab, how many non-promos you've used for Sportsbet Tab, all these bookies, and then it's going to give you a rating, obviously, according to, okay, I should look after this account a little bit more because it's a higher chance of being banned. And you can ultimately look at everything as a like holistic approach and be like, look, this is my fucking profits, this is my investment. I've made $1,200, I've made $2,800, I've made $38,000. Like, it's just, it's evidence. It's why it's not risk. If you're doing everything by the book, everything should be on that spreadsheet. And it should be like, well, here it is.
Another question here. I'm just going to rephrase this question, but the question is like, what's the difference between the system and the Platinum Squad essentially? The question is Platinum and system the same thing? No,
good question. So, okay, the system, start with that. The system is a horse investment service. We set you up, personal coach, 2.5 hours of content. You set up your accounts and you then follow the tips that we essentially send out Wednesday, Saturday, okay? Every one of those tips comes with a unit size attached to it. You've been told your unit size according to your bankroll with your personal coach. Once you've started, after about 2 to 3 weeks, you then start following that. That is an ongoing subscription if you want to talk about the cost. So we currently have it at $99.99 a month, $259 for 3 months, and $459 for 6 months.
I will say, anyone that is looking to join from this live, send us a DM on Insta and here on Insta, and
okay, so that's a subscription. That's ongoing, monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly. It also comes with a profit guarantee. If you don't make profit in your first month, full refund, which is something I probably should have mentioned throughout this live. Every one of these products comes with a full refund guarantee. But this here is essentially like, if I said to you, all right, this is like a money printer. This will print you money over a 12-month period. We average 300 units, or let's go down, 29 units a month on the system. Based on the tipping service here, the investment service here, we're going to average 29 units a month. What does that mean? If you're a $10 unit follower, you would make $290. If you're a $50 unit follower, you'd make roughly $1,500 a month just in the system. Okay? Now, what Platinum Squad is a once-off fee. It's not tips. It is a course. It's a community. Okay? It's 12 hours worth of tutorials, videos across 4 modules. Those 4 modules focus on different things. The first module talks about defense and sustainability, fancy words for not getting your accounts banned. Now, people come across match betting, they get excited, they open up all these bookies, they turn over the bonuses, they make 2-3K, they get half them banned, they can't continue. Once you get banned, you can't make money, okay, through match betting. Now, the Platinum Squad gives you a way to teach you how to set up your accounts to a high level, which then makes your accounts go longer. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to teach you how to maintain the accounts once they're set up so you can start using promos. Then I'm going to talk to you about psychology, discipline, money management, investing, all these kind of cool things in the first module that you wouldn't think would be in a match betting course. Then you move on to sport, the sport promotions and stuff like that, teaches you how to use them. Then we move on to Betfair, which is a way in which we can do some methods with horse racing, also methods where we can turn over bonuses at a really high rate. Now, the main differences between the three. If you're just a system member, you can only follow on a maximum of $25 units, okay? Now that is capping your profit. In a 12-month period, the system averages about 300 units, maybe a little bit more, but let's just go 300. You're gonna make 3 times that, which is $7,500. If you're following on average at $25. However, that's not realistic because you would actually start lower than that. You'd start on $10. Whereas a platinum member can actually go up to $50 or more, and sustainably, because he learns how to turn his bonuses over higher, sustains his accounts at a higher level, and can keep his accounts open for longer. As soon as you go up to 30, 40, 35, 25 even, you're going to be way higher chance of being banned without the advanced defense stuff that's taught here. So essentially, Platinum teaches you everything to a higher level. You then, in the ideal scenario, you would go here first. You would learn all of this. Okay, think of it like going into war with your undies, and then going to war with a bunch of tanks and armor and shit that's taught here, and a community behind you who's the army. And then here, like as much as you're going to war in your undies, you can go to war in your undies at the start, but then you can lock up these tanks and get these tanks at the end. Not to say that if you join the system, you're going to be done straight away. You're not going to get banned. Heaps of people start here because obviously there's a cost associated that people can't sometimes afford. But if you go here first, learn everything, set everything up, you then go here, horse system, you then slowly go from 10, first month, second month 15, third month 20, fourth month 25, fifth month 35, sixth month 40, seventh month $50 units. All of a sudden, you've now got this money printer, but it's more sustainable, more efficient, and it's making you more money. The other thing I haven't mentioned is the system doesn't teach you how to turn over bonuses at 80%.
I was going to ask,
Platinum Squad does.
What is Betfair?
Okay, Betfair is a way in which you can use horse, like the example I used before with the AFL, where you looked at 65%. That's a very simple way to turn a bonus over. However, anyone who's using Betfair will be able to do stuff where you can turn your bonuses over at 80. So in a 12-month period, right, the system as well tracks all results at 65%. So if we get a bonus back, we're going to assume that our subscribers on our official results have turned that over at 65%. Okay, that's because it's realistic, it's achievable. A lot of people say, well, I can turn over my bonuses at 80. Great, but our results only track at 65. So if you were turning over at 80 in the last 12 months, if anyone's paying attention here, how many more units do you reckon you would have made if you followed every tip and you turned over your bonuses at an average of 80%? I'll actually give someone a free month if they can get the answer.
There are a few subs on here, and you've told them, so I wonder if...
Well, 3 months to the first correct answer. I want it to be closest to the nearest 10.
My stream's a bit delayed, so I don't know.
And I might actually be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I have the correct answer, unless it was like increased by like 7 in the last 3 weeks of December. But I don't think it did. Does anyone know how many more units you would have made following on 80% versus 65 in the last 12 months? From January 1 to December 31.
There are a few subs on here, but I don't reckon they know.
Well, I'll have a guess. Free month up for grabs.
NC 400?
No?
No guesses.
100 units. Illusion.
Ooh, Oliver said 49.7 units.
Illusion has won the month. Well done.
Who?
Illusion on YouTube.
Oh, I have not seen that.
100 units. I think it was about 106, 105. Tom can probably highlight all the bonuses and add times 1.15. But 100 units. You would have made 100 units more last year following the system on 80%. That's every platinum member if they're doing things properly. So if you were a $50 unit follower, and let's just say the average of your unit size over the 12-month period was 35, that's conservative, you would have made how much more? $3,500. So that's where the system and platinum, there's 3.5 times your course fee back. That's not including anything to do with any other bonus you receive, which would be 15% more every time. It's not including all the other methods you could have done. It's not including the 930 weapons that we have in the Discord who are talking about shit that I've never heard of sometimes every single day. Like, I promise you I'm learning new shit every day, and I've been doing this for 10 years because there's different people coming out into our community, e.g. like someone like, I'm not going to mention, but people coming in who are just weapons in the space. And if you have an open mind and you never think that you know everything, then you'll always learn off other people, less experienced, older, younger, whatever. You will always learn. And that's the beauty of the weapon thing that I talked about here. The system gets that. There's 600 people in the system. There's 930 on platinum. Together, combined here, there's an overlap of 315 that are on both. So, and then there's about 98 on this. You're looking at, and these are all platinum members, what's that, 930, 630, 1500, 300, about 1,215 members across both communities. This Discord is going to obviously be better for Platinum Squad members because they can see an additional 25 channels. That's also what you get as a Platinum member. And then you've got like state-specific chats. You've got bookie ban bots, sign-up offer bots. You've got a bookie list in the Platinum Squad which goes into more detail. Lenny's actually updating that at the moment to sort of tell you, okay, well, Bet Deluxe, Bet Nation, they don't like you doing X. They don't like you doing a bonus turnover on X. They don't like when you place your first 3 bets on this. Like, this shit is invaluable because it inevitably takes your accounts and make them stay open for longer. Now, there's a thing that I want everyone to understand, which I haven't, unless you've got questions, Tom.
There's a couple. There was a funny response, Michael, when you asked how much more profit. He wrote 15% more.
Well, he's not wrong. Per bonus. But if you look at it like that, I've actually got the number percentage. You will make, I think it is, so what, do this, Tom. What did we make last year on the system? 350? No, 330?
Yeah, 331, yeah.
Add 104 to that.
Is 400.
I think it's about 35% more. What's the difference there?
435 divided by 3. I don't know the calculator.
That would be.
It sounds about like
135%. You make 36% more or something. 33 maybe. 34. How good's my math without a calculator?
What did I say it was?
435 divided by 331. Maybe 33%, 34%.
No, 24.
24?
Does that sound right or not?
No, because you're going total. It's actually...
Nick said if you join the system, what are the benefits of joining Platinum Squad as well? Can you still be successful from just being in the system? Nick,
yes.
I know you've asked a fair few questions.
Did you just watch that?
Please send me a DM on Instagram. I'll send you a video that JP's made that actually explains that exact question.
I'll do this now. Okay, so there are 3 factors which will determine how much money you make in your match betting career. This is literally like, if you can think of this like this, good luck to the bookies. Profit. Now I've got to try and remember these factors, okay? Time following. Okay, this is following the system. Profit on the system. Number 1, how long you follow for. Okay, explain it. Can everyone see this, by the way, or is it fucked?
I'm not looking, sorry, I'm responding. There's actually a fuck ton of questions.
Okay.
Someone's asking, are we saving this live? Yeah,
it'll be posted everywhere.
And YouTube.
Send it to your grandmas, your granddads, everyone.
They can see it. They might have to...
Okay, do you want black?
Yeah, black is definitely better, but is that one running out? Can you guys, whoever's still watching, can you tell us if you can see that? It's an absolute circus here.
What about red?
No, I think red's shit.
But it's darker. It's the fucking lights.
Yeah, we're not getting much from the crowd.
Crowd's lost it. Had enough.
But send us a DM, Nick, and I'll sort
You
it
got
out.
a green one?
No, red's actually good.
Is it?
Yeah, red's good.
Are you sure?
Mitch said it's not great, mate, but red's good. Jordan Murphy said he's colourblind.
I hope he's joking, but if he is, good luck. I'm actually legally blind, so it makes two of us. Blind.
Red is better. Yeah.
The blind leading the blind.
Everyone's saying red is better. Yeah, it is.
All right. Profit on the system, 3 factors. The first one is how long you follow for. Okay, it would make sense that if someone follows for 1 month and the system averages 29 units a month, it's actually not guaranteed that you're going to make 29 units every month. Okay, that's an average. Okay, make sure you understand that. But how much you make is going to be determined. If you follow for 12 months, you're going to average 29 units a month. Okay, 12 times 29 versus, let's say, someone who follows for 3, 12 times 29. How much? Who's going to make more money? Pretty obvious. The person who follows for 12. What about the person who follows for 24? Obviously, they're going to win now. That's the first thing. Now, the second one is... Wait, Tom, do you remember the 3 factors? Now, the second one is... hang on. Give me 2 secs. No, that's it. The third one's bonus. The third one is bonus turnover. Bonus percentage.
And unit size. No?
Yes, correct. Average unit size. Glad someone's got it. How good is like not pretending that you have no clue what you're saying, but then you actually do. Instead of bluffing, you just be honest. All right. 2 is unit size, average, okay? So obviously when you start the system, your unit size starting is not going to be the same as when you're 12 months or 6 months in. And any subscriber who's been around for 3 months will understand this. Because when you start on the system, don't care who you are, where you've come from, how much money you have, how many accounts you have, your unit size is going to be $10. Now there are some very small exceptions to this. But $10, that's how you start. Now in 6 to 12 months, you ain't going to be following on $10 units because if you have followed everything by the book, you would either be in platinum on a $30, $40, $50 unit size, or you'd be on the system still saving for platinum and you might be on a $20 unit size. But this average unit size is that's the ticket to this formula that I'm going to show you here. So if you followed for 3 months, you're probably going to have an average unit size of about, if you followed the rules, probably 15, maybe 14. If you followed for 12 months, assuming you upgrade to platinum, your unit size, I think I used in the video, was about 30. And then if you're following for 24 months, that unit size average might go up to about 40, let's say. So that obviously, the bigger this gets, the time, the bigger this gets, the average unit size, and I'll go into the third one again, is going to impact how much you make. So the third one is bonus turnover percentage. And I'll make that clear, it's turnover. As we've already discussed, if you're turning over bonuses on the system, you're going to be doing 65%. If you're doing platinum, you're going to be getting 80%. So we've already established that in the system in a 12-month period, you're going to make an extra 104 units or so. So there's plus 104, that's plus 15% equals 104. So in a 12-month period, you're going to gain 104 units. Let's just go 100. And then in this, let's just say if you're not a platinum member, unless you're breaking the rule, which remember is the $25 maximum unit size rule, unless you're breaking that, this average unit size is going to increase more as a platinum member over time versus a system member. Okay, so let's just say the system member over 3 months, let's just go over 12 months. Now, anyone who's following the system for 12 months and hasn't joined platinum, it frustrates me, but anyway, let's just say they haven't joined and their average unit size, they still follow the rule of $25 max, so their unit size average ends up being, if it's possible that they can get to 20, but let's just say 20, and then the Platinum Squad member is now up to 30, and they've now followed for 12 months, and the Platinum Squad member has an extra 100. So the time following is the same, so they've still got their average, so we've got this, 12, 29. We've then got 20, 30, Tom, you want to do this for me? Mm-hmm. So do 29 by 12.
Yeah.
By 20.
Yeah.
What's that equal? Like 7K?
6960. Yeah.
7K, perfect. 7K. You've then got the Platinum Squad member. So do 12 times 29 times 30. That'll be not much more.
10,440.
Plus, sorry, do this again. Do 29 by 12.
Yeah.
Plus 100. No. Yeah, plus 100.
Yeah.
Times 30. 12.
Oh, you motherfucker. Yeah.
What is it?
Nah, wrong.
What?
Oh man, 29 times 12.
Plus 100. Make sure that's not added on.
Yeah.
Should be like 300 and
448.
yeah, times 30.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 13k. 13,440.
Perfect. So in a 12-month period, just because this person has more units because of their bonus turnover and higher average unit size, they've made an extra $6,400. Now that's where the Platinum Squad versus system only. This obviously was Platinum. This is system. Now this hasn't stopped yet. Let's go to 24 months. This is going to stay the same if the person's following the rule. So let's double that. 14,000. And then let's multiply this by 40. What does that equal, Tom? Sorry.
What?
Can you do 24 times 29 plus 200, which is, 880 maybe, times 40?
Yeah. 896 times what?
40.
It's going to be a lot. That is $35,840.
So this old mate here's made 14k. This mate here's made 35,840. This is not including anything else.
If anyone can read that, props to you.
No, they can.
You reckon?
Well, it's a $21,000 difference in 2 years because this person has got their unit size higher and their bonus turnover percentage higher, just because they joined Platinum. So they paid $1,000 to make 21k more just on the system in 24 months. So that's how the difference in the two people. Now, the other thing as well, if you're a Platinum member, you are inevitably going to make more money doing other stuff that is taught in the Platinum Squad, as well as hearing other things in the community. There's also the sports system. There's also opportunities to multiply your profits, which are provided and going to be provided in the next sort of 2 months as well in a more general level. But ultimately, like this as well, which I haven't even considered, and in fact, I actually butchered this person who is not a Platinum member would actually have this wiped after probably month 12, which means that actually wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
they wouldn't get to 14k.
Nick has just asked, why can't you increase your unit size on the system though?
Because you'll get banned much faster without the advanced sustainability that's taught in Platinum. I don't know if you was watching the previous one, but in Platinum, there is 3 to 4 hours worth of videos which teach you how to do much more advanced stuff when it comes to not getting banned, okay? The system has 2.5 hours worth of content which discusses setup, how to follow, bonus bet turnover, how to track your results, a number of other questions as well. You've got your personal coach, but it doesn't go into the advanced stuff that's taught around sustainability and defense, okay? That's where Platinum Squad members have the edge there. They have way more info, they have way more skills, knowledge, tricks that inevitably make your accounts last longer, which then affects the bookie list, correct? Teaching you how to sustain more bookies. Ultimately, we understand this. If your average unit size is higher over time, you're going to make more money. If your bonus turnover is going to make more money. But this one here is the one that is probably the most influential, because that person is probably going to get to month 12 and they're going to run out of maybe, if you stay on a $20 unit size, you probably sustain your account still with the system info for 9, 12, 15 months maybe, but you'll lose some inevitably, and you'll get to sort of month 12, 13 and you'll have struggle to follow because you have no bookies left or less bookies. Whereas a Platinum member actually sustains their accounts for longer, and then in all 3 factors, they're just destroying the other person. So it's fine to join the system at the start, okay? If you've got no money, you've got 500, you've got 1,000, you don't have any savings, you don't have any sort of ability to do it, and you want to start already now, do that. But if you want to do it properly and get the most out of this in a 2-year period or a 1-year period, if you have an opportunity to join Platinum, if that means delaying following for a month because you want to save some coin or you want to jump in on a payment plan, that's what a lot of people do. And inevitably, we talk to a lot of people who go from system to Platinum and they wait 2 months to get in. They might lose an account, 2 accounts, and they come back to us and say, well, fuck, like I wish I joined this earlier because it makes more sense now. And sometimes it's probably our fault because we haven't provided the exact pathway yet, or they haven't watched the free course, or that's why I made that video last week, which goes for about 35 minutes, explaining essentially what I've said there.
There's literally 3 people asking this. It's pretty much the same question.
Yeah.
Ryder's asked, do you recommend joining the system first or Platinum Squad first? Then Nick has asked, so could I just jump straight into Platinum Squad and not join the system? Kind of the same question, a little bit different.
Yeah, okay, so...
another one here, Johnny's asked, is it better to sign up to Platinum first or should you get a feel for the system first?
I've kind of explained it, but if you join Platinum first, right, you learn everything, like let's just pretend there's 100% knowledge. You learn everything on a scale of match betting. You're never going to know everything, but let's just put it on a scale. If you join Platinum, you'll have 100. If you join the system, you probably have 30 match betting.
Yeah, 35, 40.
Yeah, so you can learn everything first. Now what that does is it makes your accounts last longer. So your time following is going to be longer because your accounts are then primed better, which is something I haven't really spoken about. In Platinum, there's a video which tells you not only what or how many bets to place, which the system does, but it teaches you how to place them, what order, what stakes to put on them, what exact type of bets, the number of them, which the system does, but it goes into way more detail around the patterns of these bets. And a bookie is going to profile you in your first 12 months, first month, on how many, what type of bettor are you? Are you someone who's doing like degenerate bets that are going to make you a good customer for them in the long term, or are you someone who is sharp? Are you getting a bonus bet and turning it over on a sport outcome and being obvious as hell? Now, if obviously some bookies see this, they manually delete your promo straight away. Whereas Platinum's going to teach you how to bypass that to a high level. Like nothing's guaranteed, but there's going to be a delay in bans essentially if you join the Platinum Squad. Your accounts are going to last longer across the board. So, and you can't go back and set up your accounts again once they're set up. Now, some people might be like, I've already got accounts open. That's great, but you won't have 30, 25. And if you do, you then won't learn how to sustain those accounts using a promotion. So inevitably, you're going to try and get to a high unit size in the system, and you can't do that because you don't know the advanced skills. So if you learn the Platinum Squad stuff first, you set up your accounts first, you then move across to the system, which is the multiplier of all that stuff. You then have this great partnership of money printer system, Platinum Squad, efficiency, convenience, more profit, everything comes together. That's the order. So if you're sitting there with 2K, your best thing to do would to be join Platinum, then get to the system in a month. Now, all Platinum members get a free month on the system. If they join on a monthly, there's a little code, and you'll get a month free. So you can pay $99 for 2 months, essentially. Everyone who's taken advantage of that, well done. It's in the first module of Platinum. But if the most ideal customer journey, there's actually a video in the free course about this, is that you go Platinum, system, and then eventually you jump into the sports system if you want to go down that path as well, which uses some more promotions through AFL and NRL through the winter months, or obviously currently we have the summer sports service, which is less volume of bets but still making profit over the long term. So I don't know if that answers the questions you guys had. Can you just do Platinum on its own? Yes, but you won't make money the same as a system member because the system is the best method of anything. It's most convenient, it's the most profit. There's methods in Platinum that you can do, but system shits all over it.
Is Platinum easy to learn? That's what Mel's asked.
Easy, subjective. If you are on this live, Mel, and you've watched this for 1 hour, which you probably have, you'll be fine. That's all I'll say, because you're patient. So, like, it's like with anything. If you give something time to learn it, like if you went to school and you could, like some people are like, oh, but I'm dumb, I don't get it. Like, trust me, anyone can learn it if they want to. All it takes is a bit of patience, a bit of learning. You ask questions in the Discord, you repeat, and over a month, 2 months, 3 months, you now have these like crazy skills that you can then teach someone else or whatever.
We might wrap this up with one last question. There's a good one here from Ryder saying, I think the camera's starting to cook itself. I don't know what's going on.
Your camera?
Yeah. But Ryder is saying, how long have you guys been using match betting as your primary source of income?
Me personally?
Is it pulsing?
Huh?
See, it's like pulsing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think it might be like, I think that phone is fucked.
Is it like overheated or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. How long? I don't match bet anymore, man. Whoever's asking that. And a lot of people will be like, whoa, how is this guy teaching us all this shit and doesn't do it himself? I did this for 7 years and I lived off it for 7, okay? That doesn't mean I did it every day. It means I lived off it, okay? I hope the ATO is not watching. But if they are, I got lucky a few times. I didn't actually, but yeah. Now, in terms of how long we've been doing this, is that what the question was?
Yeah. How long have you been using match betting as your primary source of
Okay,
income?
so I stopped match betting properly when I started the Hustler Squad. Okay, that was in 2020. In fact, I probably bet until maybe mid 2020, and then the system.
We were still doing it.
And then the system was made. I probably stopped properly end of 2020, right? Between 2014 and 2020, Hustler created here, which is the Platinum Squad. In case anyone's confused, let's just call it the Platinum Squad. System created end of 2020. Steve and Tom and me, and between this period here, I made probably between, I'd say 200 and 250k, which isn't great. It's not huge. It's probably like 50k a year, but I made a lot of it through 2018 to 2020, and then between here, I would have made another 50k while starting this and teaching people while still betting. But then now, these companies have got so big that this is a personal choice. I decided to stop match betting because if I match bet to the level I was doing here, I can't run these companies. I can't give myself to people to help, to answer questions all day, to coach people, to make videos, to get on lives. None of this is possible. And the other thing as well is here, before Platinum was made, I got to here, I was, where was I, 28, 27. My dad got sick. I was kind of goalless. I was doing osteo, even though I was getting my money from match betting. I was doing osteo for myself part-time, 3-4 hours a week. I hated it. I didn't hate my life, but I had no goals, I had no purpose. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing every day. I was like, well, what am I actually doing? I'm just making money. Me and Tom had a partnership where we'd just be like, all right, let's go meet up on a Saturday and make 5K. And it's like, people hate hearing that because it's like, why wouldn't you keep doing that every weekend? It's like, because after 7 years of making essentially meaningless money to us because it got so big, like, it was like, well, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to build something that's going to help thousands of other people. Or I want to get a message from a 21-year-old who says, hey man, you've changed my life, you've made me 50K. Now, we've built something that's bigger and better and more rewarding, and ultimately that is where all of my energy goes into. Okay, so good question, but for anyone who knows, they already know that from the subscribers. For you personally, don't get confused or sort of be like, well, why is it mindless money? I'm not going to do it. That only happened to me after I made $300,000. Okay, so you're not going to get to that level tomorrow or next week or the week after or the year after. Make money first, and then if you get sick of it in 12 months' time, then make that decision. We're going to wrap up the live now. So thanks to everyone who's watched. If you have any questions, you're still watching this, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're coming from, send us a message on our Instagram account. Obviously, you're watching this if you're not on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, the System AUS. Send us a DM, just say, I watched the live, I have an X question. If you don't want to ask us a question, do the free course. The free course is in our bio. It's on our website if you want to Google it. If you Google matched betting free course, ours is at the top of Google. Okay, if you're in the link tree, you can find it very clearly. If you have any other questions, you want to book a free call, you'll find your way. We have 2 different websites, so don't get confused with that as well. The systemaus.com.au is our system horse investment service. Our free course is on thehustlersquad.com. Our platinum squad's on thehustlersquad.com. If you have any other questions, also join the Discord, watch podcasts, go on our YouTube, subscribe, the System AUS again. And thank you to everyone for watching. Hopefully you've learned something. Let's make a huge amount of money